This segment of Delmarva Life is brought to you by State Farm Insurance.
How many letters?
5 letters.
Just think about, what am I doing right now?
Smile. Smile?
Uh-huh.
This is so easy.
Nobody likes to be stopped by the police, but if I'd seen her texting while driving and given her a ticket, it just might have saved her life.
The ads are shocking, but the message life-saving. Stop distracted driving.
And leading the charge behind the U.S. Department of Transportation's campaign, Talbot County's own Liz Marks. We've shared her story before. You can see she's a beautiful girl who had hopes of one day becoming a model. But in 2012, one split second, one text message changed everything.
Nothing can take back my mistake. Nothing can give me back my old life. The only thing I can think of to do is help save someone from the mistake I made, texting while driving.
It was a text from her mother that caused Liz to take her eyes off the road. The text simply read, "Okay."
The officer came to my door and he said, "My daughter's been in a serious car accident." And I remember screaming to him, "Is she alive? Is she alive?" And he said, "Yes, but it doesn't look good." And then I remember he bowed his head and I just fell apart. I just fell apart.
Every parent's worst nightmare. Liz is truly an inspiration, and that is why we wear green. It was the color used to mark the accident scene during the investigation.
It was a cell phone in Liz's case, but really it could be anything that could take your eyes off the road. As a matter of fact, there are so many other distractions that you may have never considered, especially when it comes to your teenager. Now, just hours ago, State Farm Insurance released findings from a new study surveying drivers ages 16 to 19. 27% of them say taking pictures with their phone often diverts their attention from the road. 29% say reading social media is a distraction. Next on the list, 36% say accessing the internet on their phone.
State Farm survey revealed 73% of teens search for music while driving. 79% are distracted by listening to a navigation system or GPS. But don't be mistaken, one of the biggest distractions isn't a thing, but another person. 94% of teens surveyed say talking with a passenger in the vehicle distracts them while driving. And as a parent, that is very disturbing. And add this to it. Motor vehicle crashes are a leading cause of death for 15 to 19-year-olds.
Now, there are ways that we can try to bring down those numbers and disregard the distractions. So joining us today to tell us more is State Farm Insurance Agent Katie Bennett of Camden. Thank you so much for joining us today, Katie.
Thank you for having me.
So one thing that this study points out is that there are certain situations that almost actually encourage our teens to pick up the phone.
Yes, they found a lot in that study that you were referring to before. They found that 67% of teens admit to being more likely to pull out their cell phone when stopped at a red light as opposed to moving in a vehicle. 3/4 of teens are likely to use a cell phone, or less likely to use a cell phone if an adult's in the vehicle with them.
Okay.
Compared to 58% less likely when a teen's in the cell phone with, use their cell phone when the teen's with them.
Wow.
So different situations do make an impact on that. 58%, less likely with a teen in the car. So
yeah, amazing. Okay, so we as parents certainly don't want our teens to pick up their phones while they're driving, but we also need to lead by example. That means we need to stop it too.
Yes, practice what you preach, definitely.
Yeah.
One of the toughest rules to follow in a situation like this, isn't it? Okay, well, something else that we can do to keep our teens safe on the road is to make sure that they're ready to get behind the wheel. Now, there's a program called Road Trips?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
There's a program called Road Trips that you can get to on State Farm's website, teendriving.statefarm.com, and it's a program that helps parents teach their teen drivers about safe driving habits.
Ah.
Okay, and once those teenagers are in the driver's seat, they really need to anticipate hazards, and there's a simulator that can help do that, right?
Yes, there is. That's Road Aware, and that's also on the same website. They can work at being more likely to understand what hazards might be on the road. 40% of crashes are involved because teens don't know what to expect. So that starts them simulating in a neighborhood setting, going to downtown, and then going to a highway setting.
Wow. So you really encourage teens to inspire other teens to keep 2 eyes on the road, 2 hands on the wheel.
Yes, 2 and 2. Yep.
2 and 2. That's important.
Yes. So State Farm actually has a program called Celebrate My Drive that's going on right now through October 25th. And it's encouraging teens to work with their school administrators to promote that message, the 2 and 2, to bring education to the school and the community about safe driving habits. And 22 schools across the country will actually be recipients of $100,000 from this program. Wow. And the winning school, the grand prize winner, not only gets the $100,000 but also a private concert.
Wow!
So it's a big deal. So all the local schools should definitely take part of that. It would be great to have some over here in Delmarva.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so parents, get your teens to listen up, because safe drivers can save money as well.
And with teens and insurance, saving money is definitely important. So there's tons of programs out there. State Farm has a wonderful program called Steer Clear. The teen actually keeps a journal, a log of their road trips, some with parents, some without, and just makes them more aware again of what's out there on the road, how other drivers are reacting. There's a video that they also watch, and that saves big on the insurance. And it's a discount as long as they keep a clear record. They get to keep until they're 25.
Ooh.
So it's a big discount. So definitely.
But you've gotta stay safe on the road.
Yes, you gotta stay safe.
And you can't push that too much with your teenagers.
No.
You can't do it. Katie Bennett, State Farm of Camden, thank you so much
Thanks
for joining
having
us
me.
today.
And to read more from State Farm Insurance about teen driving safety, or for more information on these driving tools we discussed, go to WBOC.com and click on our picture at the top of the page. Okay, so once we have the safe driving tools in place, the next thing you want to make sure is the car they're driving is safe.
And it turns out bigger might be better. The latest report from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety found bigger and heavier vehicles are the safest when it comes to used cars for teenagers. Vehicles like the Volvo S80, the Ford Taurus, the Ford Flex made the Institute's recommended list. Something parents may want to avoid, according to the Institute, cars that have high horsepower, which may tempt teens.
Well, I don't want to crash, not too fast. No.
You're going to go the speed limit, obviously, right?
I have to respect the law.
The Institute found parents should also look for used cars that feature electronic stability control. Look at that. It helps drivers maintain control on curves and slippery roads. And Lisa, most of the vehicles on this list cost under $20,000.
That's a good thing. All right, regardless of what vehicle you drive, you want to make sure it's in tip-top shape, especially with the colder temperatures making their way here like the ones we had this morning. Up next on Delmarva Life, we run down the checklist of all the things you want to address, plus find out how you can use a penny to make sure the tread on your tires is in good shape.
You want to make sure the concrete outside your home is in good shape as well, especially if you're trying to sell. A little bit later on, from cracks in the concrete to replacing or repairing, our friends from Angie's List have us covered. Delmarva Life will be right back.